What's up guys, my name is Chris, this is Sharp AF, and today I'm really excited to give you an overview / review of a cool new knife from BESTECH designed by OSTAP HEL. This is the BESTECH BIHai. These are two of my favorite knives from OSTAP HEL, by the way, and if you know what they are, let me know in the comments. And shout out to my channel members, you guys are awesome. But the reason I'm so excited about the BEHIVE is because it surprised me, and that's not to say that I had low expectations or anything. I've always had good experiences with BESTECH. But I guess I just didn't know from looking at it on paper what to expect. You know, sometimes you really got to get the knife in your hand to know if you're going to like it or not. And after carrying this one for a couple of weeks now, I've really enjoyed it. So let me tell you what I like, what I don't like, and why I think this might be a good addition for your collection. First and foremost, it is a rather small pocket knife. If you don't like small pocket knives, well, you can just get the hell out of here. Just kidding. I do have larger pocket knives as well that I also enjoy, but I tend to carry smaller knives specifically when I'm at work. Knives that are less intimidating or scary, or less likely to draw attention. Not that I personally think they're threatening or anything, but whatever I can do to avoid unnecessary contact with ornery coworkers or management, but still accomplish most of my cutting needs. So just to give you an idea real quick, we're talking about a blade length of about 2¼ inches, a cutting edge of about 1¾ and an overall length of about 5¼ inches. Sambic 14C blade steel with a satin finish and stonewash flats. G10 liner lock on bearings with a variety of colorways available. So we're going to start off with what I like about it, and I want to do that by comparing and contrasting with some other small knives. So the number one thing I like about the BEHIVE is that it's different, really different. I've got a decent selection of small knives, and I've got a lot of drop points and utility style Wharncliffes. I don't have a sub 2-inch mini hawkbill blade in my collection, and it's freaking awesome. It's weird and different, but it's done in a way that it's still practical for daily carry. And for most of us, besides the primary purpose of being a tool, this is also a hobby, right? And meant to be fun, and adding variety is a great way to do that. Is this going to be a bitch to sharpen? Probably. But that'll also help develop some new skills and techniques, and that's part of the fun too. This blade shape has been great for getting under envelope flaps and opening letters. No, that's not really that exciting, but a lot of us use our knives for that. Opening packages as well, and I've really liked it for hard plastic packaging. It does a good job of cutting through that. And it's also somewhat fidget friendly, and I was a little bit worried with it being a smaller knife with a front flipper that it might like fly out of my hands or something. But so far, no issues there. A lot of the times, front flippers kind of suck. This one is actually decent. Typically, I prefer a top flipper swipe or a Bic lighter swipe. But on this particular knife, I prefer the index over the top. Works really well and consistently well. But I know you guys are looking at that thumb hole there. Yes, you can reverse flick it, which is a lot of fun. Upside down. You can slow roll. I have a harder time with the thumb flick without thumb studs. I know I'm just kind of a spaz, but it is doable. And that's another area that exceeded my expectations with the BEHIVE. Being a small knife with multiple deployment methods that all work pretty well, and the fidgetiness and the blade shape make it a lot of fun to carry. Anyway, so I like that it's different, but then there's also some similarities with other knives that I really like. My top two most carried small knives, if you watch my channel, you probably already know, that's going to be the Spyderco Dragonfly 2 and the Civivi Baby Banter. So one of the things I look for in a small knife that all three of these have in common is the forward finger choil. It's not necessarily a deal breaker if that's lacking, but I really like it, especially on a small pocket knife where you already have a small handle to begin with. Anything you can do to carve out some extra real estate for my fingers is appreciated. You do sacrifice a little bit of cutting edge, obviously, but on a small knife, I've already accepted that it's not going to be a big blade, and I'd rather have a good place to grip the handle. And on the BEHIVE, you've got the forward finger choil and 2 patches of jimping on the spine, so you can really get a good purchase on the knife. The next thing I really like, not so much with the Baby Banter, is the ergonomic curve of the handle, the arch. Especially on a smaller pocket knife, that curve just fits into my palm really nicely. You know, a straight back is fine, but I think the arch just wins ergonomically. And as far as small pocket knives go and ones that I've handled, this is one of the best in terms of ergos, in my opinion. It's very comfortable, and seriously, it just feels like an extension of my hand. And some of these others, even ones with a similar shape, aren't nearly as comfortable because of hot spots or pinching or cheap materials or something. but no hot spots on this guy. And even the pocket clip, which I'm going to ding in just a minute for not being a true deep carry, I don't feel it in my hand at all. And maybe if this was a true deep carry, it'd probably be digging into my hand a little bit. So I'm okay with the clip how it is because of that. So the pocket clip is tip up right side only. It's not a true deep carry, and where this is kind of a shorter clip to begin with, I kind of wish I had a little bit more length there. It's also pretty tight, so I mean it's going to be great for retention and staying in your pocket. A little bit more challenging to get it to slide onto your pocket with one hand. And I would expect that over time that's going to loosen up just a little bit. I might be a little impatient and try and adjust that tension a little bit on my own. But honestly, this for me has turned into more of a pocket dropper. I'm not too concerned about it opening or snagging on something in my pocket. I've just been dropping it in my pocket with my keys, and it's been awesome. It also might have been kind of fun where this is a smaller knife to have some kind of place for a lanyard, especially if you're going to use it as a pocket dropper. The centering is perfect right down the middle, and the lockup is good. I would call that maybe 20-25%. We've already talked about the deployment. The detent is in a really good spot for these different deployment methods. The drop, it'll definitely fall down to your thumb if you're moving the lock bar over, but once you're out of the way, it's a strong shake shot. For me, this has been more of a manual close. All right, the weight, according to the specs, is 1.8 ounces. Compared to the Dragonfly is going to be lighter than most of these small pocket knives, 1.2 ounces. But still less than 2 ounces. It's a very lightweight knife. And the factory edge was nice and sharp. And underneath the G10, we do have some nested liners. It looks like there's some milling on the one side and a G10 backspacer. I also really like on this version with the blue G10 that accented pivot collar. Looks pretty cool. Full MSRP, $75. Most sites are selling it for around $63. Maybe you can find a coupon, which I think is a fair price. It's not necessarily like a steal of a deal or anything like that, but I think it's fair. Fair price. But there you have it, guys. The new BESTECH BIHai. Check it out. I've also got the BESTECH Slither over here that I got to do a video on. Do I think it's worth it to add to your collection? If you're somebody who enjoys carrying smaller pocket knives, or maybe you're required to in certain circumstances, I think it's definitely worth it because of the fun factor and the uniqueness. And of course, with BESTECH, the quality is right on point. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching.